Hello. Said that a bit loud, didn't I? Hello. Right. So, Project Fear. I think we're living in a time of Project Fear. You have to excuse my back because I will be turning my back on you. Don't mean to be ignorant or rude, but there you go. Just made myself a lovely Slurpee. It's been a beautiful day here. Okay, so Project Fear. A couple of people have said to me, make a video on this coronavirus, because many people seem to be doing it, including video makers and all the rest of it. And I've said no. It's only two people. I've said no to both of them. I said there's enough bullshit and misinformation and fear-mongering and silliness going on without my input into it as well, because what could I bring to it? I'm not an expert. I have seen various different bits via YouTube, Sky News and all the rest of it, and they sit there with a panel of experts and then they say that this is new, this coronavirus. Nobody knows anything about it. How can you be an expert? You may be an expert in bacterial control, so you can say wash your hands. You may be an expert in influenza, which is basically that's what coronavirus is. But you can't be an expert in coronavirus because it's brand new, so nobody really knows what they're talking about, including me. Now, there is a lot of rubbish. There's a hell of a lot of rubbish about it. Let me just tell you that in the last sort of few months, January of this year onwards, there's been about 20,000 deaths due to flu. There's been about 30,000 in car accidents. There's been however many thousand in knife crimes, gun crimes, shootings, killings, murders, cancer, disease, things like that. On average, worldwide, there's 1 million people that commit suicide. That's a hell of a figure, that. And that's every single year. What I do know is every 3 minutes a child dies of starvation somewhere in the world, third world country. Not really reported, is it? Nothing much is reported. This last year, 2019, influenza killed more children than we've ever known, worldwide. Don't know why, but it did. Was it reported? No. You have to really dig to find information. My advice, if you want advice on coronavirus, is to really start doing your researching and digging. WHO, the World Health Organization, is the best one. That's the websites I tend to use. Don't look at government ones. They're just figures of nonsense. And this is the UK, if you don't know where I live, and we've got a Prime Minister called Donald Trump. Well, he might as well be. It's called Boris Johnson. Hello, mate. My little dog come and see me. They're both the same. They're both idiots, Now, this Pratt said he went to a ward recently with several people in. Some had the coronavirus, others didn't, and he shook the hands of every single person in there. So he's spreading the disease. So that is why, Ella darling, that is why I say don't trust the government. Can you get down please for a minute? I'm making a video. Do not trust the government. Do not trust their figures, certainly. I mean, that's been exposed as well. Lies, the absolute lies. Now let me just tell you, just briefly, oh, we don't want that one, we want this one. So this is from the World Health Organization, so it's true. Now, yeah, there are higher figures. I'm not going to read the higher figures. We know that people are dying of this coronavirus. As I said, they're dying of the flu, far more. And they're dying in car accidents, far more. Much, much more, But if you go on to World Health Organization and look at the facts and figures to do with coronavirus, and you will find things like this, that the Oman, O-M-A-N, the country this is, The total cases so far have been 16. The active cases are 14, but 2 are recovered. So there is a recovery rate there, but we don't know how old the people are and all the rest of it. Vietnam, right, the total cases were 18. They've got 2 active cases, but 16 are total recovery. So a huge amount of people have recovered there. And that follows through all the way. There's a country called MACAO. What's that? Macau? MACAO, Macau. 10 total cases, no active cases, and 10 recovered. So all of them have recovered. And that's exactly the same that follows through again and again and again and again. It's not as big a deal as you think. Andorra has 1 case. So does Jordan, so does Armenia, Monaco, Lithuania, just 1 case, you know. But if you look at Latvia and Nepal, Sri Lanka, and several other places, they've had 1 case and 1 full recovery. That's it. So it's not a big deal. The flu season is a big deal, definitely. It's a common sense thing, isn't it? You know, the less contact that we have with other humans, the less dirt, bacteria, shit and filth from their hands are going to be transposed over to your hands. It's as simple as that. You know, that's common sense. It must be common sense when there's flu is to keep yourself away from people. When there's a virus of any sort, keep yourself away from people, keep yourself clean, wash your hands. Just makes sense. Now there's a load of rubbish. The fastest thing in the world that spreading faster than coronavirus is the bollocks on social media. The absolute bullshit. I've read that if you wash your hands in vodka, it kills all germs and you won't have coronavirus. Sainsbury's cheapest hand sanitizer kills the virus. It doesn't kill the virus. Cleans your hands. Doesn't kill the virus. Rubbing garlic on your hands kills the virus. No, it doesn't. It just makes your hands smelly. Makes you not very popular wherever you go. And probably burns your cock when you have a piss. It's just common sense. There's so much fear going on with this, and when you look at the cases, the active cases, those that have died sadly, but those that have recovered, there's not a lot to worry about. There's really not a lot to worry about. Project Fear, that's all it is. It's nonsense. You're more likely to die of flu or getting hit by a car. In truth, you know, you're more likely to die falling down the stairs than you are of coronavirus. Now it works, this Project Fear, because people are now literally stripping shops bare of toilet rolls and food and stuff like that. What are they going to do with it all? People are buying gas masks and surgical masks and latex gloves. You know, and there was an old woman wrapped her face up in a plastic bag on a bus I saw. Number one, it's dangerous. But you know, what on earth do these people think they're doing? It's just Project Fear. I'm rolling a quick fag. So please, I mean, by all means, look after yourself. And if looking after yourself means digging a 10-foot hole and sleeping in that at night, do that. If it means wearing a gas mask or surgical gloves, do that. If it means washing your hands till they're red raw, if that makes you feel better, do that. If it means buying dozens of tins of beans and 400 toilet rolls, do that. If it makes you better, if it brings you some peace of mind, then do that. But the best thing you can do is ignore the bollocks on social media, go onto the World Health Organization and have a look at their true stats and see the likelihood of you ever coming into any harm with it. And even if you do, again, look at that. Look at what the medical people have said around the world. It's a mild to moderate form of flu. So it's actually less bothersome, if you like, than the flu. If there's a choice of getting coronavirus or the flu, you'd rather have coronavirus, because the flu can be, oh, it's just awful, the flu. Terrible, terrible thing. But coronavirus is mild to moderate. Most cases are mild. It's a mild form of the flu. Some people don't even know they've got it. There's been a couple of cases now where they've released people and they've gone back because they haven't felt very well, and they've said, oh yeah, you've got the coronavirus. But they've been feeling kind of okay, you know, certainly not like the flu, you know, how bad you can feel with the flu. Anyway, what I'm saying is, do not let this Project Fear rule you. You know, we're not stupid people. We know it's a type of flu. We know that it's mild in most cases. If you look at the stats of who's died as well, and that's on there, it takes a bit of finding out, but look at the stats. Our first case in the UK was, I believe it was a woman aged 77, but she'd been ill for 10 years, and for 5 years she'd been quite seriously ill. Now, whether she died of coronavirus or whatever, I don't know, but we're told that she did, and I think we're told a lot of shit as well by news medias and by the governments. I don't know what it's all about, don't understand it. I just know that it's we're told that it's a viral infection, like the flu but milder. And we're told to wash our hands, although if you turn any program on, people are shaking hands all over the bloody place. You know, my advice really is to keep yourself to yourself if you can. Obviously, you know, people have family around, that's different altogether, but, you know, try and keep yourself to yourself, particularly with strangers. Who the bloody hell wants to go and shake some dirty bastard's hand anyway? Any time in their life, especially when there's a bit of a viral thing going on. But you will find that the flu, influenza, has killed more people, and especially infants, you know, the last sort of 6 months. No idea why, because that's quite unusual really. Normally influenza or the flu, normally older people die with it. But I believe it's Project Fear. I believe there's a bigger one to come, a bigger virus in the offing in a number of years, and I believe this is just to get people used to panicking, to bulk buying, to wearing masks out in public, you know, buying all this gel for their hands and millions of toilet rolls, and everybody's talking about this coronavirus. So this Project Fear has worked. It's just got people really worried, really wound up. Why are they worried? They're not worried about catching the flu. They're more likely to catch the flu. Why are they worried? They're more likely to be hit by a car. But it's Project Fear. So whatever's happening is people are now used to it, used to talking about it, used to washing their hands, used to being shit scared to shake somebody's hand or use a bloody door handle and all the things that go along with it. So when the bigger one comes, we'll be more used to it, and I believe the bigger one will come at some stage. Probably a man-made bioweapon or something like that, I don't know. Who knows? No, nobody knows. But again, it's Project Fear. Don't worry too much about it, you know. But if you feel the need to go and stock up on a load of food, then do that, I suppose, you know, if you really must. You know, or wear a gas mask, or I don't know, whatever you're doing. Washing your hands in petrol and vodka and things like that. People are really taking it to the extreme. A friend of mine phoned today, He's on a bit of a jaunt aeroplane wise, and today he's in Oslo. He phoned me up and he said, I've got some good news. So he told me the good news. He said, I've got some bad news. A woman was taken off the plane by paramedics. He said, that could be coronavirus. I said, yeah, it could be anything. Could be anything. I said, did they swab you? He said, no. I said, did they have any testing kits there? Did they say anything? He said, no. I said, were you given a leaflet about coronavirus? No. And this is happening worldwide, isn't it? So there was 100 and, I can't remember, I think he said 180 people on there. Those 180 people have all gone their separate ways. He's currently on a train now, going across land somewhere. I don't know. You know, he's going to touch many door handles and seat covers and tables and things like that. It's just Project Fear, that's all it is. And if we really think about it and ignore the government figures, think of yourself and your immediate family. Who, out of that few people, has got coronavirus or has had coronavirus or has sadly died from coronavirus? How many people? If you widen that and look at your street, how many people down your street do you know who's died or who's recovered from coronavirus? Or widen it, your workplace, or where you go shopping, or your football team that you support, or your kids' friends, your wider family, your aunties, your uncles, different people you know. Look at how many Facebook friends you've got. Some people have 300, 400, 500, 600. How many of those have died because of coronavirus? How many of those have even caught it? None. 0 is the answer. So it makes you wonder about manipulation of going on, you know, with the figures, wherever you see the figures. As I say, I think the World Health Organization is probably the more truer one and the one that you should be looking at perhaps. But don't worry. Project Fear. We can worry about things to whatever degree we need to worry about them, can't we? You know, you can start by washing your hands every 5 minutes and then going down the shop and getting a load of toilet rolls and using your spare room full of tins of beans, you know, and digging a hole in your back garden and sleeping out there for some unknown reason, washing your hands in vodka and petrol. We can worry about things to such an extreme that they just take over. And when you look at the likelihood of you catching coronavirus, it's virtually nil. It's virtually nil. And in many cases, it is nil. I don't see many people at all. I'm a bit of a recluse. I love being a recluse, especially at times like this. I haven't touched another human being for quite some time. And I won't, certainly for this to blow over. I'm very cautious where I go. Where I go is outside in the fresh air. I don't need to touch door handles and things like that. And if I do, if I need to use a toilet or whatever, I always use my sleeve on the door. I've always done that anyway. It's just being sensible. Keep yourself clean, keep yourself away from people. And look after yourself as best you can. If you do get it, don't let it be a mind thing. It's a physical thing that's mild to moderate in most cases. Bear that in mind. So if you do get it, give it 4 or 5 days and you'll be getting over it. Don't worry. Take care. Be well. Wash your bloody hands. Ta-ra.